Right. And I would add, maybe practically, maybe you need help and advice from somebody to really make sure that this decision is based on what will be the benefit of the children. Not what this one is saying or that one is saying, or to score this victory or that victory, but what will really, really benefit the children, as Leah said. And I think it's just important to add, in a general way and in a general note, it's so important. It's so important. We all know, in the best marriages and great couples and beautiful functional homes where there is basic livelihood and people are normal and civil, it's not easy to raise children today. Everybody is struggling. There's a lot of distractions, a lot of trauma emerging, a lot of different factors that you always have on these shows, in terms of education and learning disabilities and emotional challenges and mental challenges, etc., etc. Never mind when there's such a challenge of a family being broke, a family splitting up where there's a divorce situation, even if it was really important and necessary to do. Let's take that for granted for a moment. But now, Tati is in one home and Mommy is in another home. So we all have to be mature. We have to become mature people. You have to become a great person. And even though all of us have pettiness inside of us, and all of us have a Yetzer Hara, and all of us get jealous, and all of us have difficult moments, and we all lose it once in a while, and that's fine. You're a human being. But it's so important to paraphrase Thomas Paine, these are times that try men's and women's souls. When this happens to a family, realize in the best situations, it's hard to raise children. So it's so important for both of us, for the Mommy and Tati who are now divorced, to really rise to the occasion and say, yes, our marriage didn't work out for whatever reason. But the bottom line is, let's be invested together, Ki'ish echad b'leiv echad, to give our children the best possible future. And that means, number one, to realize that a child needs two parents and needs two loving parents, and celebrate the fact. And even if you despise him or you despise her, and maybe for good reason, we're really not judging that at all. But remember that this is your child's father forever, and this is your child's mother forever, and them having a good, loving relationship where they can feel safe and secure and soothed and seen by both of their parents is so, so important. And this consideration must transcend almost every other consideration in the world. I said almost, maybe probably every other consideration in the world. And not because we're not weak and we don't have our difficult moments, but let's face it again. And even in the best homes, it's so difficult. Certainly when you have all these challenges. So give them that opportunity. Give them that opportunity. If you have to compromise, compromise. If I have to go beyond my ego and beyond my insecurity and beyond my fear, this is what behooves me. And when you're going to be 95 years old, remember, when you're going to be 95 years old, I don't think when you look back, you will regret that your divorce was civil and that your relationship with your ex post the divorce was respectful, dignified, civil, always making sure that the children get what they need physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, socially. I have a situation there. It's so painful. A guy, I don't know, probably you can call him a monster. I don't like judging people. He tells his ex, he says, they had a child together. They got divorced, bitter divorce. I'm not going to give you one day of peace. I'm going to bury you and bury you and bury you and bury you. How do you call yourself a Ben Torah? The Shem Sichnish to speak like this? You're not embarrassed to speak like this? You're not embarrassed? All of our Yerushalayim, we talk about Hashem, 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 and it all goes right into the dustbin. When we're angry at somebody or angry at our spouse, I'm going to bury you. I'm not going to give you a day of peace. Where does a person come to say such words? And how is this person protected by parents and by siblings who pat them on their back? Don't stand by when your brother or sister's blood is being spilled. world. It's the responsibility of classmates and friends and rebbes and rabbis and mommies and tatis to stand up. And even if there's a disagreement, it doesn't give you a right to enter into a world of blood and vengeance and revenge and hatred. And who's going to suffer? It's not just, first of all, your ex is also a person, also has an image of God. You have to respect him as a person, even if you're not meant to be married to each other. That's number one. The whole Torah is about, Hillel said, the whole Torah is what you dislike to be done to you, don't do it to anybody else. Just because we got divorced, just because we have our quarrels and our bickering and our disputes and we couldn't be married together, therefore it gives me a right to lose all of my nobility, all of my menschlichkeit, all of my refinement, all of my humanness, and literally behave like a monster? And such people have to be confronted by their families and friends. This behavior is not allowed, because every one of these guys is getting protection from somebody. Good job, good job. Teach her or teach him. This is not how we should behave, my friends.